And good morning to you, Year 3. Welcome to Thursday, the 4th of February. Here we are with our latest writing lesson. We are using our narrative skills to entertain dragon enthusiasts, using the Dragon Snatcher as our stimulus. And we have been right way through the beginning of the story, the build-up, the climax, and we're now coming to the resolution, the enormous battle. And that is your task today. You have to write the battle between the good and bad dragon, the good and bad character. So we are learning to write a passage which records a chase and battle that thrills and excites the reader, because we want to entertain the reader and make our writing worth reading. So what am I looking for today? You need to be able to write about the chase and the battle. Ensure that we communicate to the reader that they should be thrilled and excited, and we should be using our prepositions of place and time, just like we've been practicing our skills over the last few weeks. So there we are. That's the effect we want on the reader today. It's have to be thrilling and exciting. You want to really get the reader's heart racing as they read what you've put. There is no core or extension paperwork today. I'd like you to select your own piece of paper that you're going to be writing on, and I'd like you please to fill in your dum-tum. So if you need to, pause this video and copy it down. Thursday, the 4th of February, 2021. Can I write a battle and chase to thrill and excite the reader? Find some paper and get that written, please. So if you remember, in the original story, this is how the chase was written. Then the chase began. A ball of fire came whistling past George's ear and crashed into the mountainside. The black dragon was belching fire at them. George's dragon flitted to and fro, trying to avoid the fireballs, but he misjudged a turn and crashed into the face of a mountain. It's exciting, but I think you could do even better. Remember yesterday we watched that short clip from How to Train Your Dragon? That was just to inspire you and make you feel the thrill and excitement that our writing needs to have. Also yesterday, you then took 6 key questions along with a word bank, and you created your brainstorm of ideas. This is in effect your plan. Have that with you in front of you. It's very important that you use that when you're writing today. Here's the one that we created in class yesterday. You can see that we've got loads of ideas in there. Now, if at any point you get stuck, you can rewind this video and come back to this part of the video, pause it, and you can borrow some of our ideas from our screen. But hopefully you've got plenty of ideas of your own. Now I have a structure that I would like you to write to. Use these steps to build your narrative and thrill the reader. So, what does the dragon do? What action happens? How does George feel or act? What is around them? That's the scenery. How does the wizard feel or act? You go through the sequence, but then the important part is you repeat it again. And each time you repeat it, you're moving on to a different part of the adventure in this particular battle. Now I've laid it out like this. 1, what does the dragon do? 2, what action happens? 3, how does George feel or act? 4, what is around them? And 5, how does the wizard feel or act? Now, when you get into doing your writing, it might be worth pausing this video and having this on the screen, because this is the structure that you can use through your writing. It's a really good formula, and I'm going to demonstrate it to you now. Now, in the original story, it starts with, then the chase began. So I'm quite happy to start mine with the same sentence, then the chase began. So I now need to write, what does the dragon do? I'm now going to explain what the dragon does. And I'm going to talk about the bad dragon. And I'm going to talk about him really coming quickly towards us, or towards the good dragon and George, who's riding on his back. So I'm going to talk about, I could talk about the black dragon, that will be fine, but I'm going to use a better word than black. I actually had the word sinister in my brainstorm, I think. So I'm going to talk about the sinister dragon. The sinister dragon flapped his wings. Capital T for the sinister dragon flapped his wings, flapped his big wings, flapped his enormous wings, flapped his huge wings. Full stop. So what does the dragon do? The sinister dragon flapped his huge wings. Please write in the past tense. Okay. I know the questions might lead you to write in the present tense, but I want you to write in the past tense. So the sinister dragon flapped his huge wings. Next question is, what action happens? So what happened next? Let's have some action. Well, the first thing I want to notice is some fire. There is some fire here blasting out of this bad dragon here. So let's have fire was blasting all around. Fire was blasting all around. Let's get that written down. Don't want to forget it. Fire was blasting all around. All around where? All around George? All around, well, I think it was pretty much filling the sky. Fire was blasting all around the sky, all around the stormy sky. Let's add an extra atmosphere of energy in our story. Fire was blasting all around the stormy sky. Great. So what action happened? It was the fire blasting. That was my action. Number 3. How does George act or feel? Right. So George is, I'm looking at George in the picture there. He's feeling pretty nervous. And he's clinging on tightly to his dragon and to the egg. So I think I'll have George nervously. How can I show he was feeling scared? Well, he might shake, mightn't he? So maybe he shook. George shook. George nervously shook. Yes, let's have that. George nervously shook. George nervously shook as he held on to the dragon. As he held, no, let's have clung. As he clung to the dragon. I could have clung to the egg, but I'm going to have dragon for now. As he clung to the dragon, his dragon. As he clung to his dragon. Good. So that answers how does George feel or act. Let's see how it's holding together so far. Then the chase began. The sinister dragon flapped his huge wings. Fire was blasting all around the stormy sky. George nervously shook as he clung to his dragon. Okay, this is sounding pretty thrilling and exciting at the moment. What's the next part? Number 4, what is around them? Well, I've mentioned the stormy sky, so I don't want to talk about that again. Oh, what about these rocks here? This mountainside's looking pretty jagged, isn't it? Let's have some jagged rocks. Jagged rocks. What are they doing? They're poking out through the mist. Jagged rocks poked out through the mist. Well, there's some ice on there as well, snow and ice, icy mist. Jagged rocks poked out through the icy mist. Yes, let's get that written down. Jagged rocks poked out through the icy mist. And what does that cause them to do? If the rocks are poking out, what does it mean that they've got to do? Well, they've got to sort of twist and turn to avoid them. Otherwise, they're going to crash into them, aren't they? So it's going to be forcing them to twist and turn. forcing them to twist and, oh, I need a new page, twist and turn, full stop. Okay, let's just get that sorted out. Forcing them to twist and turn. Good. Now, that's what was around them. And then number 5, how does the wizard feel or act? So we now need to have something that the wizard does. Well, he's going to be mad, isn't he? He's getting his dragon to blow fire. So I think he's going to be really mad. Another word for mad, angry. Yes. Oh, he could be full of rage. That would work well. He's full of rage. And what's he going to be doing? Oh, you can't see really in the picture very well. I think he might have his mouth open. I think he's probably going to be shouting. Shouting with anger, shouting with rage, screaming with rage. Yes, he's screaming with rage. And what's he doing? He's kind of holding up his staff, isn't he? Another word for staff is a scepter. So I'd like to use that word scepter. I had it before. So screaming with rage, the wizard held out his scepter. Oh, and I think it's glowing on the end there, isn't it? So his glowing scepter. Right, let's get that written down. Screaming with rage, comma, the wizard what did I say, held out? Yes, held out his glowing scepter. Held out his glowing scepter. Get the spelling of that right. Held out his glowing scepter. You could say his glowing staff would be fine if you don't know the word scepter. Great. Screaming. Scream. Oh, I think there's a spelling mistake in screaming. Correct that. Screaming with rage, the wizard held out his glowing scepter. Great. So that's what the wizard does. Now, that's all I need for today. However, let me just warn you that this is a 2-day write. So wherever you get to today, you pause, send it to your teacher. Then tomorrow you carry on and we start the process again. So tomorrow I'm going to go down to a new paragraph and I come back to number 1 again. What does the dragon do? And I'm going to then start writing about them having a chase and zooming in and out and maybe dodging each other. And so we're going to write another 5 sentences carrying this chase on. So for today, all I need you to do is write me those 5 sentences to get that started, but don't finish the chasing. Don't finish the battle today. Just be in the middle of it so that on Friday you can write the conclusion of this chase. So just 5 sentences today, but each sentence must count and be really engaging. When you've finished it, share your writing. Read it to somebody. I tell them it's not finished, but read it to them and see if they think it's thrilling and exciting enough. So good luck with your writing process today. It's quite a big ask, but I really want you to write less, but I want every word to count. It's better to write a shorter piece of writing and everything is of top polished quality than writing lots and lots, which isn't very developed. So really take your time with it and choose your words with care. And also, don't forget to have fun with your writing today. I'll see you tomorrow.